Levis, uko studio? Nani? Diana, unaona Pasaris? About 6. We can start. Sawa, tuanze mwisho. Nitarecord. Sawa. We can start mwisho.
Okay. My fellow Kenyans.
Sorry.
My fellow Kenyans. First of all, I want to say that I know the elections has just been concluded. There's a section of Kenya that were for the elections, and there's a section of Kenya that were not for the elections. Now, I want to say this. No life should be lost because of partisan or leaders in this country. No life should be lost. When we're trying to choose our leaders, I know some of the issues are very emotive, but at the end of the day, we should not have any lives lost. I've just spent the better part of 2 hours going through the various wards in Kenyatta National Hospital. And I want to tell you something. We've got victims here, all right, across the board. We've got a Luya woman who had just gone out to buy some vegetables and she was stabbed. We've got a Luo man who was thrown into a sewer, and what saved him is that he knew how to speak a bit of Kikuyu. It takes me to the Al-Shabaab and knowing how to recite an Islamic verse so that you can save your life. Is that the Kenya we want? We have a Kisi there. We have a Kikuyu young man who was shot in front of his 15-year-old son, right? In his own house after midnight. The police actually went into his own house. We've got a young border guy who was beaten senselessly. He's actually probably lost his mind completely. He's got a big blood clot on his head. So every tribe, we've got Luyas, Kisis, Kikuyus, Luos, all of them in the hospital. We've had over 20 patients that have been discharged and treated. And you know what? While we're having all these brutality against each other and by the police, they're bullet wounds victims in this hospital, all right? All I want to say is that, first of all, you're on your own when you're in these hospital beds, okay? You and your family struggling and suffering. I know we have issues that need to be sorted out politically, and I beg and pray that the principals, both Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, will come together and decide what's right for this country. And what's right for this country, and I've always maintained, is a free, fair and credible election. And it's going to be very difficult to govern this country when half of the country did not feel that they needed to participate, right? But having said that, we cannot have gangs erupting. I met Matiang'i recently and I said the most dangerous thing we can do to Kenya is to revive the various gangs. Okay, we know we have gangs. And why do we have gangs? Because of poverty. When I say that Kenyans are poor and it's the poor that are oppressed, right? We need good leadership and I agree on that. But surely we can't rise against each other. We can't kill each other, all right? We have a pregnant woman who was stabbed in the stomach. All she was doing was going to buy her vegetables. We have people who are alighting we have a painter who was alighting from a matatu having come out from work, right? And I mean, he was thrown into a sewer, his leg has been injured, but at the end of the day, it's speaking Kikuyu that saved him, all right? Let me tell you something. We cannot say that we're preaching peace and we want peace and we want unity if we put all the issues that have divided this country and continue to divide this country under the carpet. And I know these issues need to be solved, but let me ask you, my brothers and sisters, let's not take each other's lives. thou shalt not kill. We are Christians. This is a Christian country. All right? Let's not take our country back. I wanted to go to Kawangware today, and I was told I cannot go there. The police cannot guarantee my safety because there are two hostile groups, each one on one side of the divide. You know, you've got Mungiki on this side, or Kikuyus on this side, and you've got Luyas and Kisis on this side. Let me tell you something. God doesn't know any tribe. And when you come to this hospital and you need blood, you don't even know what blood you're getting. The blood that is saving you, if you're a Luya, could be a Kikuyu. If you're a Kikuyu, could be a Luo. So let us stop this hatred that we have for each other. At the end of the day, no politician is worth dying for. He doesn't even know that you're in trouble. I just discharged a demonstration victim, the one who was run over by a car 3 weeks ago. His bill cost 76,000 shillings. He doesn't even have NHIF. All right? How many patients do you think leaders are going to come and discharge from the hospital? I myself am constrained. So all I want to tell you, Kenyans, put your pangas down, put your wooden sticks down, put your hatred away, and just go and hug your fellow brother and sister and say, I am sorry. Because we do not want to destroy this country. And as for the election that has just happened, and as for Uhuru getting sworn in, this is what I want to tell you. You are the president of this country. And before you think about being sworn in, think about the messages that you need to convey to all Kenyans. Because ultimately, whoever is going to be president of this country has to have one mandate: to unite all of Kenya. I visited this hospital with my team. Obviously, my office is still trying to settle. This is Magda. Magda is in charge of, she's a project coordinator for Dagoretti South and North. And we've got Lumumba here, who is in charge of the whole county. All right, and we've got Stephanie here, who is in charge of trying to help us find resources so we can help you. But I want to tell you something. If you continue fighting against each other, it's going to be very difficult to help you. I'm also appealing to the government. Please sort out the nurses' strike. Cholera, which we're not talking about, is very real. The hospital has got so many cholera patients drawn from all over Nairobi. So we're not talking about cholera. We're not talking about Kenyatta National Hospital right now having such a strain because the doctors, the nurses are on strike. The doctors cannot function in the county hospitals without the nurses. Please sort out the nurses' strike right now when we have so many serious patients and we've still got an outbreak of cholera in our country. So Kenyans, please remember, we are all children of God. All right? And it's time for us to stop fighting because of politics. And I want to say to Matiang'i, all right? The reason people came up with rubber bullets is so that you don't kill demonstrators. It is in our constitution that we have a right to demonstrate. And the police, we have got rot in our police. All right? We might have to move the American way, where every policeman is fitted with a jacket with a camera, so that it is known what he's doing. Because the police are actually shooting innocent people. The police are robbing innocent people. All right? And we've got a lot of violence. And I'm sure if people come out and talk about these stories, a lot of the police are to blame as well. So please, you know, be a bit more sensitive. Because the Kikuyu man that I met in there, he was in his house and he was shot in his house past midnight. The police broke into his house. These stories, do not just write them off. These are things that are happening. You know, if we're looking for aid in our police, let's try and invest in the jackets that the police, we can see what the police are doing when we send them out there. Because to be told that a police stole from me, come on. No, that is not nice. Magda?
I just want to say that Mama County has summed it all. If you cannot think beyond Jubilee and NASA, think that when you go to a hospital, who donates the blood for you? I'm a blood donator and I don't know where my blood goes to. So think about that. You're a Kenyan, you're a human being. If you're a Christian, let your Christianity values overshadow everything else. If you're a Muslim, let your Islam values shadow everything else. Let us remain one united country.
No, we've got about 7 or 8 patients here that are 12 patients that are with gunshot wounds, with knife stabs, with horrible cuts, panga cuts on their heads. I mean, horrible brutality. And you know, for me, I know that some of the people that have actually come out to hurt the others, you know, have actually been either financed by leaders. You know, I as a leader, right, and as a Christian, would never finance brutality against anyone. You know, and I want to tell my fellow leaders, the ones who have actually incited our youth and Kenyans against each other, that this is, God will judge you. You know, at the end of the day, I know we are fighting for the liberation of this country, right? But we do not have to kill each other for the country to be liberated. You know, I would rather lose my leadership position than to see people's blood being shed. You know, at the end of the day, Kenyans, I really pray, just stay as one.
NASA leader Raila Odinga still says that he is not ready for any talks with the President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Well, I mean, Uhuru Kenyatta was not ready for talks with Raila, and the NASA leader is not ready for talks with Uhuru right now. And for me, that is them. That is another league. Where I'm coming from is to talk to the Kenyans on the grassroots. My position as county woman rep is to look after the vulnerable citizens of this country. Yes. And when I say that we are poor, and you're vulnerable, and you live in such harsh, inhuman conditions, you have very little, and now you've burnt all your properties, you've burnt the shops that you would go and get food from, you have been barricaded against the communities. And let me tell you something, for me, seeing that every tribe is represented in the wards here, with gunshot wounds, with panga cuts, you've got Kisis, you've got Luyas, you've got Kikuyus, you've got Luos. Let me tell you something, we cannot continue hurting each other, all right? We do need justice. We do need a good legal, we do need a process where elections are felt by every citizen to have been free, fair and credible. I'm not saying that we can walk away from that, but all I'm saying is that do not, politicians who have financed, you know what happened in Kawangware yesterday, from 3 o'clock, we saw a whole group of people being unleashed on the residents of Kawangware. We saw people being asked, if you didn't vote, show me the ink. If you don't have the ink, you were being beaten up. So at the end of the day, we've also had a situation where NASA is saying, you know, we don't want voting in our areas. But at the end of the day, each one has a right. We've agreed on that. NASA has a right not to vote. Jubilee has a right to vote. But at the end of the day, why are we killing each other now? Why are we victimizing people who didn't vote? You know, I mean, let me tell you something. All these gangs are only coming because of poverty. And why do we have poverty? Because of corruption and poor leadership. So at the end of the day, we do have to sort out our leadership issues. But for right now, I want to tell Kenyans, do not rise against each other. Do not. You're brothers and sisters. And then at the end of the day, you're Christians. And God says, thou shalt not kill. Why are we harming each other? We have a pregnant woman, knifed on the stomach. Surely, did she deserve that? She was only going to buy her vegetables. I really am praying. You know, I mean, tomorrow is Sunday. We will all go to the church and we will be saying, peace, peace, peace. But you've got to have peace in your heart. You've got to have peace in your heart. And at the end of the day, if a leader imposes himself on a people, and if we are believers, God will remove him from that seat. So let us trust in God. Let us pray. And I want you to pray and give special thanks to all the doctors and nurses and administrators of the hospitals. Because what I saw today, the care that all the patients are getting from the doctors and the ones who are on strike, the nurses, I'm appealing to you. Go back to work. Because your sacred oath is to save lives. The government will sort out your pay issues at a later date. But right now, with cholera outbreak, we need the nurses to be at work so that the doctors can be able to function, the county hospitals. I'm appealing to you. If you took a sacred oath to serve and to save lives, go back to work. Go back to work. Thank you. Lumumba?
Really not much.
Lumumba is the county project coordinator for Nairobi under the Women Reps office.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank Mama County for the work she's done, coming over to oversee exactly what happened in Kawangware. and we were told that it was serious because people were cutting themselves, killing themselves, and even police shooting. This is our concern, and we have gone into the hostel and we have seen it with our own eyes. It is not Kikuyu, it is not Mluya, it is not Kisi, it is not Jaluo. The issue here is people are now butchering one another, and this is our concern. If really Uhuru is taking over to be the president of this country, why are people fighting? Why are they dying? If really Raila is also looking for this position, we are not looking for this position for our children and women to die. We want peace, and this is our concern. We are sending this peace word to our people. We want them to be calm, and we want them to live as brothers and sisters. The issues of politics put aside, life is very important. And what we have seen here ourselves with children and people are still having bullets lodged in their chest. Another elderly person, police goes inside and shoot him. The first group went and came out. Another group of the policemen came in and shot him. And the bullet is still lodged on him. Why are we killing these people? Are these real police officers who are experienced, who are professionals? Because I don't see how you can enter into somebody's house and find an elderly person there and shoot him. Then I want to believe these are not real police officers. And if they are, we should be told. I think that is what we can say as at now. But we are sending the word of peace. In Kawangware, we want the boys and our boys there to be calm now. It had happened, yes, but we know that we need a life to continue. And that is our prayer. Thank you so much.